Okay, welcome back to another episode of Third and 23. I'm your host, Alex, here to bring you my AFC Divisional Round picks and predictions. I'm doing these videos now. I'm going to have both AFC divisional games on this video, and I'm doing these videos now because I'm actually going on vacation tomorrow, so I will not be here to do my videos at the normal scheduled time, Saturday mornings and Sunday mornings as well. So starting it off, by the way, let's first talk about last week. 0-3 wild card round. So I need to get right week. I need to get right round. Struggled, struggled last week. So here we go. We're going to start off with Houston visiting Kansas City. Kansas City opened as a 7.5 point favorite that has since gone up to 8.5. When you talk about the Chiefs, they're the number one seed in the AFC, went 15-2. But keep in mind, they won 10 of those 15 games by 7 points or less. They had a lot of close games against some teams that were not very good this season. Now, for me, when I'm looking at this game and I'm looking at the matchup of this game, what's going to be the deciding factor in this game? It's going to be the Texans' defense against Kansas City's offense. The Texans ranked fourth in the league in sacks in the regular season, fifth in the league in pass defense, led by Derek Stingley back there, one of the top corners in the league, 11th in the league against the run, pretty strong against the run as well. Against the Chiefs, let's take a look at how that matches up. Texans, fourth in sacks. The Chiefs, 27th in pass protection. The Texans, fifth ranked pass defense. Chiefs, 23rd ranked pass offense. You got a lot of weapons with you got Patrick Mahomes with a lot of weapons, Kelsey, and some good receivers, but for whatever reason, it hasn't really worked out this season. Texans, 11th ranked run defense. Chiefs, 22nd ranked rush offense. Kareem Hunt is not a type of running back that's really going to strike fear in anybody's heart. Pacheco is back. He missed a good portion of the season, but is he 100% is a big question there. So, also looking at this game, though, remember these guys did play a few weeks ago. Chiefs won that game 27-19 in a game that we talk about pass protection. Well, Chiefs only gave up one sack. Talk about pass offense. Patrick Mahomes wasn't bad that game with 260 and a touchdown, only 6.3 yards per attempt, though, so Houston did get some stops there. And then 22nd ranked rush offense, well, Kansas City did rush for 124 yards that game, so they had a good balance in that game. So to me, is it a situation where Andy Reid just has a good game plan to go against DeMeco Ryans, or is this a situation where that was kind of an outlier game for what Kansas City has been throughout the season? When you talk about the Texans, these defensive stats, we saw them at fruition last week in the wild card round against the Chargers. Kept sacking Justin Herbert, forced Justin Herbert into 4 turnovers. The Chargers, I think they had the least amount of turnovers on the season. So that was a trend breaker there that this Texas defense was able to accomplish. And then they shut down that Chargers rushing game. So this Texas defense is legitimate. It's legit in the sense that these stats in their postseason performance match what they did in the regular season. So are we going to see the same thing this week against Kansas City? For Houston to be able to win this game, they're going to have Joe Mixon control the clock, keep Patrick Mahomes off the field, and this Houston Texas defense is going to have to perform better than they did the first time around and start to get more stops. They're going to have to show that they get pressure against Mahomes. They're going to have to show this fifth-ranked pass defense to be able to shut down a Kansas City pass offense that shouldn't be able to find that many air holes in this pass defense. Derek Stingley is good enough to lock up anybody in that Kansas City wide receiver room. So for me, when I look at this game, I think that first time around, that 27-19 game, I think that was an outlier. I'm not saying that Houston is going to win this game because I don't believe Houston is going to win this game outright, but I like Houston with the 8.5 because I think this Houston Texas defense does match up very well with this Kansas City Chiefs offense. And I think with the Kansas City, how they played so many tight games this season, why would this be an outlier? Why would things change now? I don't really see much in Kansas City that's going to say, oh, now they're going to turn it on. So for me, I like the Houston Texans with the 8.5. I would say there's some value if you want to sprinkle a little bit of money on that Texans money line, but I don't think the Texans will pull off the upset outright. So anyway, moving on, we are going to the next game, which is the Baltimore Ravens visiting the Buffalo Bills. This game opened up as Buffalo as a 1.5 point favorite, and they quickly shot to Baltimore as a 1.5 point favorite. So everybody jumped on Baltimore, and now I've seen it settle in at 1. You look at this game, if you're an NFL football fan, you probably know what I'm talking about. You do not see divisional games or games in the divisional round between teams this elite. Both of these teams could win the Super Bowl. The Ravens and the Bills are two of the elite teams in football. They have probably the two leading MVP candidates in Lamar Jackson for the Ravens, Josh Allen for the Bills. Josh Allen's probably going to win it. I still say Saquon probably should win MVP, but he's probably not going to. Just two elite teams going at it. So what are going to be the driving factors going to decide a game like this? First off, we look at Baltimore's offense. I think it's going to be Baltimore's offense against the Bills' defense and how they match up. Baltimore, number one ranked rush offense in the league. They pick up Derrick Henry. Baltimore was already an elite team, and that just, I think that may have took them over the top. Number one ranked rush offense in the league. The Bills allow 4.5 yards per carry. They're like 12th against the run, but some of that is because they're in the lead, so teams can't run the ball. Allow 4.5 yards per carry. There's an advantage there for Baltimore. Pass offense. Baltimore, number one ranked pass offense. This is the number one offense in the NFL. Bills, first half of the season, were one of the elite pass defenses in the NFL, but they have fallen on some hard times. Teams like the Rams, Detroit, cooked, barbecued their secondary. They dropped down to 18th in the league against the pass. Keep in mind, Zay Flowers, receiver for the Ravens, he missed the wild card round. As of now, they say, well, it's questionable is what we can call it, questionable on whether or not he's going to play this weekend. So when I'm looking at this, I'm saying the Ravens offense against the Bills defense, there's an advantage there for Baltimore. Baltimore should be able to move the ball on the ground, through the air, and then on third downs. Second in third down conversions rate. Second on third down conversion rate this season for Baltimore, while the Bills are 24th at giving up third downs this season. So Baltimore is going to probably hit some chunk plays, but they can methodically move the ball down the field. Now, on the other side of that, you have Buffalo. They have a quick strike offense, big play offense. They are sixth in the league in pass plays over 20 yards. Baltimore is 30th in the league in giving up pass plays over 20 yards. Now, Baltimore's pass defense was terrible, worse in the league in the first half of the season. They have gradually gotten better as they've gotten healthier, but they're still going to be susceptible to big plays through the air. And you're going against an MVP type quarterback in Josh Allen. I expect to see Josh Allen hit some haymakers in this game to keep Buffalo on pace in this game, to keep them even with Baltimore. Another thing to note, weather. They're saying that it's likely going to snow in this game. So it's like going to be like 13 degrees and snowing in this game. How does Lamar perform in those kind of situations? We haven't really seen Lamar in snow games, so we don't really know how he's going to perform in this environment. But for me, when I look at snow games, I look at who can run the ball. Because for me, who can run the ball is really who's going to decide who's going to win a snow game if it really is going to snow in this one. You got Derrick Henry against a weaker rush defense of Buffalo. You got James Cook against the Baltimore Ravens run defense, which ranks number one in the NFL. That's a big advantage for Baltimore. So for me, 1 point, all you got to do is win the game. I got to go Baltimore. I like Baltimore to go up to Orchard Park, Buffalo, New York, and win this game in what I think is going to be an all-time classic. So anyway, that wraps up the AFC Divisional Round. If you like the content, please like, comment, subscribe, all of that. As you're going to see my YouTube handle here in a few seconds. Take care.